The Attitude Era in WWE has been over for more than 2 decades, but the WWE Universe still remembers this as one of the best periods in the company's history. There was sex, violence, and storylines only just toed the line, while others definitely pushed the envelope. In the late 90s and early 2000s, the women were known as divas and had 2 jobs: to make the male wrestlers look good and to raise the male demographic in the WWE Universe. There were several women during this time who became popular all over the world, so much so that many of these stars ended up on the cover of Playboy magazine. While several have returned in recent years to be part of the women's revolution, there are a number of popular Attitude Era divas who have fallen off the radar. Number 10. SABLE. SABLE was one of the company's most popular female wrestlers throughout the Attitude Era. The star herself often noted that the women want to be me and the men come to see me. The former women's champion went on to land 2 Playboy covers in her short WWE career before leaving the company for the second time in 2004. SABLE's second departure was on good terms after the diva sued WWE following her first stint. SABLE went on to divorce her first husband Mark Marrow and then married Brock Lesnar in 2006 before the couple then welcomed 2 sons. In recent years, SABLE has spent most of her time dotting on her family and was most recently spotted at ringside for several of Lesnar's UFC fights a few years ago. Number 9. STACY KEIBLER. STACY KEIBLER made her way over to the WWE after the company bought out WCW in 2001. KEIBLER's long legs became one of the most notable things about her before she went on to make her name for herself as a manager. The Duchess of Dudleyville longed for a Hollywood career and walked away from the company in 2006 following a stint on Dancing with the Stars. In the years that have followed, the former star has made headlines following her relationship with George Clooney as well as dipping her toe in the acting pool. But at present, KEIBLER is a full-time mother to her 2 daughters and her son. KEIBLER's most recent WWE appearance came back in 2019 when she inducted Torrie Wilson into the WWE Hall of Fame. Number 8. TERRI RUNNELS. TERRI RUNNELS was one of the women who pushed the envelope throughout the Attitude Era, given that she spent most of her career alongside her real-life husband, Goldust. Under the name Marlena, Runnels became a controversial star but was released from the company due to budget cuts in 2004. After leaving WWE, Runnels traveled the world and became known for her relationship with former ECW star New Jack until 2011. Runnels' most recent WWE appearance came back in 2018 when she was honored by the company as part of Raw 25. At present, Runnels is running her own podcast called Cigars, Stars, and Superstars while raising her daughter Dakota. Number 7. IVORY. IVORY was part of many memorable storylines throughout her WWE tenure, including her part in the Right to Censor movement. After 6 interesting years in WWE, the former 3-time women's champion opted against renewing her contract in 2005 and went on to wrestle in the independent circuit. In recent years, IVORY has started her own business called Downtown Dog, which began as a dog daycare facility but has since expanded to include grooming, cat boarding, veterinary treatment, and even daily outings for the pets. IVORY was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2018 and went on to make her only appearance as part of the Women's Revolution at WWE Evolution pay-per-view later that year. Number 6. JACQUELINE. JACQUELINE made a name for herself in both WWE and TNA throughout her career, but becoming the first and only woman in WWE history to win the Cruiserweight Championship has to be seen as one of her biggest highlights. The former 2-time women's champion also worked as a manager throughout her career, which came to an end in 2004 when it was noted that the creative team had no options for her. JACQUELINE then moved on to a career in TNA, which ended in 2013. The former champion was added to the WWE Hall of Fame in 2016 and in recent years has kept the WWE Universe updated on her life through her Twitter and Instagram, where she's revealed that she's quite the artist. Number 5. Stacey the Cat Carter. If any woman personified what the Attitude Era was all about, it was Stacey Carter, who became known as both Miss Kitty and the Cat throughout her short tenure. Carter is a former women's champion, a title that she won in a 4 corners evening gown pool match. The champion famously then went on to flash the watching audience as she celebrated her victory. Carter was released from WWE in 2001 after it was noted that she was difficult to work with, and went on to work under her real name on the independent circuit. Carter has since married and divorced former WWE star Kizarny and is now working as a realtor in the Dallas, Texas area. Number 4. Sunny. Sunny was perhaps the most popular female wrestler in the WWE throughout the Attitude Era, and despite not winning a women's championship during her time with the company, Sunny is still a household name. The former star was recognizable for her Girl Next Door character, which allowed her to help several teams to championships throughout her tenure. After being released from WWE in 1998, Sunny went on to work for ECW and WCW before a stint on the independent circuit, which ended in 2018. Sunny was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2011, and in recent years has made headlines working as a porn star and repeatedly being on the wrong side of the law. At present, Sunny makes a living from uploading explicit content on OnlyFans. Number 3. Molly Holly. Many members of the WWE Universe believe that Molly Holly was ahead of her time. She was ready for a women's revolution long before the rest of the world, which resulted in Holly having her head shaved at WrestleMania just because she wanted people to become invested in the match. Holly is a former hardcore champion and a 2-time women's champion who left WWE in 2005 after opting to take a break from wrestling. Holly has since been inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame and currently serves as a coach at the Academy School of Professional Wrestling in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Number 2. Lita. One of the most recognizable female wrestlers in the history of WWE, Lita is a former 4-time women's champion who retired from the company in 2006. After she became fed up with the continued negative intrusion WWE fans had on her personal life and insults following her angle with Edge and Matt Hardy on WWE TV. After leaving WWE, Lita worked on the indies and has gone on to make several brief returns to the company. The star has also gone on to buy a house in Nicaragua and now splits her time between her home in Atlanta and her house in Nicaragua. Lita, along with Christy Hem and Gail Kim, set up a kayfabe in 2020, which was a new-look wrestling show, but COVID-19 forced the project to be delayed. Number 1. Trish Stratus. Trish Stratus is a former 7-time women's champion and considered to be one of the best female wrestlers in the history of the company. In 2013, WWE Hall of Famer and someone who redefined the business throughout her time in the company, Stratus retired from WWE in her hometown of Toronto at Unforgiven back in 2006, but has since made several returns to WWE to be part of the women's revolution. Outside of WWE, Stratus opened a yoga studio named Stratosphere in Toronto in 2008 and has gone on to star in several movies and reality TV shows. Stratus has also welcomed 2 children, a boy named Max and a girl named Madison. Stratus and Lita have remained close since their time in WWE, and the star is Stratus's son's godmother. Which Attitude Era Diva do you like the most? Let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching.